Hey guys, this is Dolly with Good Life Gardenscapes. Doing some seeding right now. And if you notice what I don't use a mix, all I do is go out in the yard and get compost from the garden. If you notice, there's sticks and all kinds of stuff in it. And when I do use a special mix, the failure is like horrible. So what I do is go to the garden where I've grown plants, and since I compost and layer all that on top, it enables me to just pull it up after the winter, because what I do is I prep my beds in the fall. Once I pull everything out or just flip it over, sometimes I don't even pull anything over. I chop, drop, and then turn it and put more compost on top of it. And so that's what I do when I'm prepping for seeding time. This is what I will do, is just put some compost in a bag, bring it in, and start putting seeds. And what I'll do is I will make a little piece of paper or cardboard and put how many squares are here. Like this is 12. I punch a hole on one of the corners. I'm going to punch a hole on one of the corners, and then on the card I'll signify the corner, and then in each little box that I make, it'll tell me how many seeds, what seeds I put in there. So I'll do that right now, and that way I do use small cells, and I use the small cells mostly for my broccoli, cauliflower, and things like that. I used the really tiny cells. Let me show you what I'll use. This is what I'll use for those. But for peppers and tomatoes, what I'll do is in each one of these little cells, I'll put like 10 seeds, and I let them get big enough. I'll just put them in the window. And of course, I'm in the Gulf Coast region, so starting seeds now, the success would be really great, simply because the weather is good and it's warmer inside, and it's not a lot of dry heat. It's mostly natural. I keep the thermostat at about 69 or 70. So I don't really have to have any grow lights or anything like that, because what I'll do is just put it, I turn a couple little cans over, and then I'll put them in the window and put these on top, and they'll get regular sunlight. All I do need to check is the moisture levels. But since I'm using compost from outside, the moisture levels on the inside with this material is actually okay. I'm not having to constantly water it, maybe every other third day. And what I'll do is when I first put this by the windowsill, I'll just put a little plastic over it. And it'll be the same plastic that I'm using here, something like this, like saran wrap. And so I'll be looking, and as soon as I see fuzziness in there, that means the seed is starting to germinate, and then I can remove that. But yeah, this is how I'll do. I do this, poke a hole in one of the corners, get a little cardboard, put where I put that hole in, and each little box that I make will tell me what seeds are in there. And typically it's about 10 to 12 seeds, because I won't let them get bigger than probably an inch, and then I'll start moving them. And a lot of people may feel that's a little too soon, but it works. It's really not that bad. And then I can set all those trays in front of the window with a watering tray at the bottom. I don't like to water from the top, simply because what it does is it compacts the soil and it kind of suffocates the little seedling. So I'll do another video when I start moving these, but this is going to be, I'll put like 8 different pepper plants, because some I'll do more, like sweet banana. I will put like 2, or maybe this whole 4 section here of sweet banana, because when I sell them at market, that's what people want. They want sweet banana, they want bell pepper, they want jalapeno, and they'll ask for serrano, and I think, and bell pepper. So I've already did the jalapenos, and it's a whole tray of them, because I'll sell a lot of that at market, or even in front of my house. I'll put all the plants out there, and the neighbors, and they'll call other people, and they come and buy the plants. So this is how I do it, is just make it simple. Use compost. I don't spend any extra money on dirt because it's all compost. And in my compost, usually I go to a place where they raise horses, and I get the horse manure that's been rained on like for 6 months or whatever. They just give it to me because they don't know what to do with it a lot of times, because there's just such an abundance of it when you got all these horses in and out. So they just stack it in a corner, and it actually composts itself. I bring it home and it sits in my yard for 6, 7 months, and then I put it in the beds. After about 3 months, when it's time to start seeding and getting all my little plants, what I do is just get that stuff, and that's what this is, and grow the seeds in it. When I was using other stuff, like all those mixes, I seem to get gnats. And with this stuff, I don't get any of those gnats. And I guess because it's composted, baby, and it doesn't, there's no smell to it or anything, so it doesn't attract, and it doesn't get moldy. So that's why I just go out in the yard, and I just quit spending money on mixes, because it was too complicated for gnats, for one thing. And then for some reason that I would have those little die out problems. And with this, I don't have many of those problems. It's like the seed sprouts, there's a lot of natural nutrients. So I'm not adding any nutrients. It's 100% compost feeding the little seedlings. Thanks, signing off.